Jameson Wang. What's up, man?
What's
What's going on,
No,
man?
I appreciate you for having me, guys.
No, man. Welcome to the fam, man. It's a SLiC Talk, man. First and foremost.
But yeah, I want to say too. I when I heard Jameson, I went Jason. So I just want to say, yeah, it's just a black thing. I think
There's a lot of original mess ups over here.
I just think that's what it is. It's like, we want to call you Jason. Like
you got Jason flavor too, a little swag. You feel me? You got the Cali swag. I mean, you from Cali originally. Says you're born in El Segundo.
Yeah, born and raised in El Segundo.
Born and raised, and then you go to the school in the Valley. Like, how was that?
It was definitely different, Harvard Westlake. It's an elite private school in LA.
Yeah.
And my best friends to this day are from Harvard Westlake, and I'm so glad I went there. And it was such a unique experience. I met so many different people from different industries, whether it's athletics, the movie industry, the entertainment industry, and just meeting all these different people and seeing how they operate and how they move. It was such a great experience, and I still, like I said, to this day, my best friends are from Harvard Westlake.
Yeah, it seems like you've done a good job establishing your networking at an early age, being that you do have like a shoe company. That was something that kind of propelled in itself by being at Harvard Westlake, or was it like when you transferred, or was it in just the whole scheme of things before getting into college?
Yeah, no. So I actually started my reselling business after high school. So I was at the time I was at the Air Force Academy, and I was on YouTube, and I got into shoes, and I got into the whole hip hop trend, and I was like, I see a lot of guys reselling shoes. I'm like, why can't I do it? So I took that to myself, and I did a lot of research. I was like, what are the best ways to make money? Like, people buy used shoes and resell them. People buy new shoes and resell them. And for me, my strategy was to buy new shoes, because if I couldn't sell them, I could return them. The issue is if you buy used shoes and you try and resell them, you're stuck with them. You're either going to sell them for a lower cost than what you got them for, or you're not going to sell them at all. So my business strategy was I was going to buy from retailers like Nike and Foot Locker. And if I couldn't resell them, I don't lose any money because I could return them.
Yeah.
And the good part about me going to different high schools and being at different colleges was I had a broad clientele. I had clientele in LA, which both from Harvard Westlake and Oaks Christian. I had clientele from my best friends at Air Force. And I also had clientele from my best friends at Cornell. So being able to use that to help me help my business and help make me make profit was very useful and very resourceful for me on my end. And not only that, playing football and playing basketball growing up, you meet so many people in athletics, and we all have the same taste. So now I know guys at schools all around the country, and they also help me with their team. So I had friends on teams, and they would plug me with their friends that needed shoes on their team. So basically my clientele got really broad. It was
it seems like it's ridiculous.
I was literally shipping everywhere.
And we can't. Yes, we do. We can't forget Joe.
Can't forget Joe.
I did say Joe too, but then Johnny had wanted to re-slate, so everybody's voice get Joe, please welcome to the show as well. Let's give Joe some love. Joe got on the bright red Cornell shirt. He's representing to the fullest.
I'm representing. Well, thanks for having me. Joe Wang here. My athletes call me Coach Joe, but you guys feel free to call me Joe. Easy to remember. And I'm Jameson's father sitting here.
So Jameson, you had to play for your dad then?
Oh, I played for him.
How was that?
It was good. I played for my dad all the way up until 8th grade, both football and basketball. So we spent a lot of time together, and he's really helped me get to where I'm at today, and I'm forever grateful for that.
That's cool. Now you say you mentioned basketball. That's why I know you so nice now, because I always felt like guys who play basketball and football at an earlier age, like they're just so really dominant. Yeah. Like just one would be like LeBron James, Allen Iverson. Yeah. It's like the coordination. It's a little bit different, because when you understand the game of basketball, I feel like it enhances your football capabilities.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
If you're a good football player, it also helps you on the basketball court as well. So no, growing up, I think I enjoyed and played, and I really enjoyed playing basketball more than football, I think, growing up. But when I got to like 7th, 8th grade, I realized like I wasn't going to get as tall as you need to be for basketball. So I was like, I'm going to focus more on football. And that's when I realized that like football was the sport for me.
Jameson, can I ask you this? Coming out of Southern California, where football is big business, highly competitive, and it's not too many Asian Americans on the football field. Can you give us an idea of some of the issues you had to deal with and how you handled being, one of a kind out there on the football field where it's highly competitive and everybody's going at each other's necks?
Yeah, I think growing up playing football, at least for me, I didn't see many people that looked like me when I was on the football field. So that was the first sense where at the time I didn't really think about it like that. But as you start to grow up and mature, I think you realize, like, at least for me, I was one of a kind. And whenever you see other Asians playing football, like, I always have mutual respect for that because I know what they had to go through to get to that point and everything that they do to be where they're at. On the field, like, you definitely get some racist comments and some slurs here and there. But for me, at least, I try not let that get to me, and I just go out there and play ball. I don't really talk when I'm out on the field. A lot of guys like to talk now. Like, when you get to high school, when you get to college, like, a lot of guys like to talk, but I like to just play the game and try and stay focused and not let any distraction to get in my way.
You're like the silent assassin then.
Yeah.
So you like bottle everything up and then you just utilize it in your skill.
No, exactly.
Right? No, that's like one of the most perfect ways. And like one that I've seen recently attest to that would be like Steph Curry.
For sure.
He's so quiet, but at the same time, he's like that real assassin where it's just like, whatever you say to me, I'm going to utilize it against you.
Exactly.
Right. Hey, so can you speak on the relationship between you and your dad? Because, I mean, it's like, that father and son relationship and being able to kind of like, did you want to play football, or was it like, so it's a question for both of you guys, did you want to play football, or did your dad push you to it and you just enjoyed it?
I think it was a mix of both. I think growing up, like, I always loved sports, but without someone pushing you, I don't think you get to the level that you would really get to on your own, if that makes sense. So you definitely need that guidance and that structure in order. So like I said before, like, if my dad didn't push me to the point that he pushed me to, like, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. So like I said, I'm forever grateful. And obviously I got to a certain point where I kind of took it into my own hands, like probably 8th, 9th grade. That's when I was like, all right, my dad's helped me get to this point. Like, now I have to do my part and push myself, But that comes with growth and maturity.
Right.
So the real question is, how do we deal with each other, right? I mean, that's the thing. This stage, I think, is very good. He's not going to say anything bad about me, so I feel very good. But of course, we had our struggles and tugs and pulls, but we got lucky that he ended up listening to most of the stuff. The father and son, if you guys have kids, you're always telling them what to do and they say no. Right?
Oh, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So let's just say what it is. Most people don't believe that he actually agreed with a lot of things that we said. I mean, people see us either on the football field or courts, but we end up, agreeing and doing stuff together and made it right. So I think for his path, a lot to do with him to back down with me, because a lot of the kids won't back down, and then they don't have the right way. So I have a very as you can see, my personality is very strong and booming, and so you have to force to listen. But a lot of people walk away or do whatever, ignore me. But he chose to just kind of stay on the course.
Do you like Joe Jackson? Joe Jackson?
No, not Joe Jackson.
He's like a better version of, I would say, Jake Shuttlesworth.
Okay. All right.
Right? Not too hardcore, but like stern. Like, if this is something you want to do, this is what you got to follow. Just straight up. It's just simple and to the point.
Right. I think that level of comparison should be mostly relating to, so I'm an immigrant, right? So I came and immigrated here in the United States with my family. And part of the reason we were so hard on both of our kids, Jameson has a sister at Syracuse University, sports management, a little plug for her, is that we needed to have an edge for our kids, over everybody else. It's so competitive in Southern California. You guys hear about where he went to high school.
Yes.
It was not easy to getting any of them.
Yeah.
So we pushed it to the limit where we feel that they could handle. Like, we weren't abusive parents, in any way, but it was just a technique that I felt to get our kids to the best colleges they can.
You know, I think it's really important that you say that, because parents and kids who are also youth sports people need to know what they're competing against. Right? And an immigrant who sees America as somewhere where they can make their dreams come true, they're looking at it different from somebody who was raised here. And you're looking at it going, hey man, if you're going to be in this country, you better get after it, because that's why we're here. And I think kids who grow up in America aren't looking at it the same way. And in this new era of sports, it's becoming more international by the day. So just realize who you're competing against, realize who their parents are, and realize that you have kids out here that are really looking to change their quality of life through the game of sports. If you're not taking it seriously, it's really somebody else out here who is taking it seriously.
Yep, that's the biggest question. What's your why? What's the purpose? Because I know, like, for me, I had that purpose too, because I knew I wanted to get up at 6 a.m. to play, right? But then I also knew there were people on the East Coast, it's 9 a.m., right? There's certain people that have an advantage, and the game's international. What am I going to do to differentiate myself, right, to be able to go out here and compete against the world?
That's right.
Pops, kudos to you for that. I mean, that's something big, because it doesn't happen a lot. And especially now in the game of AAU, there's a different purpose, especially like when it comes to finances, on how like fathers are too. And like, just to say, like, I'm a young father. So like, just even hearing your story is like giving me like just more just insight of how to be prepared for a kid who possibly wants to play sports.
No, absolutely. See, a lot of parents now, they go, oh, we want to see what our kids like to do. And I'm like, are you sure? Because they don't know what they want to do. Because I surely didn't believe my kids knew exactly they want to play football, basketball, or all that. You have to give them the tools, and then you can see if they advance. And lucky enough, that's what I would attest to. Jameson was listening to the path that we created for him, because it was a tough path, right? Because, you know, you guys talk about early mornings. I mean, we were early and late, and then he, you know, and then he doesn't get to go to birthday parties. He doesn't get to go.
Yeah, the sacrifice.
So all those events that kids of these age grow up with, we didn't do that, because I was like, okay, that's not going to get you your next job, your next college degree. So let's make sure we get that all together.
Jameson, what's your why?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think my why is to, at least for my parents, all the sacrifices they've made for me, to be able to give back to them later down the road. So for me, that's financial freedom, being able to help them financially, and then also college. You know, college is expensive. You know, you play sports so you can get a college education for free. And fortunately, at Cornell, we have not paid Cornell a single dime. So we've been
which
very
is
blessed. Killer, not $90K a year. So
yeah,
I'm getting that.
Say that one more time. $90K a year and rising. Okay,
right.
The next 10
Literally
years,
rising. It goes up every year.
$90K no more. It'll be today's price.
Yeah,
It's not
It's
today's.
not yesterday's price.
Just to say, like, it's one thing to have a degree from Cornell. It's another thing to be a part of that network.
yep.
Oh man,
The alumni network,
And that's
is everything.
pretty much what the college experience is getting you. When you leave,
Absolutely.
you have a network of people that you have access to that I wouldn't say average, but other people won't have. So all that hard work and all of that stuff that your dad put you through, you're going to be in a position that other people won't be. And you're going to have an advantage.
No.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it
I'm
is what
sure
it
you
is.
can already see it too, just based on your experiences. I know you have good friends and network, but you also see like the negative side of certain friends who maybe didn't apply themselves.
No,
right?
for sure.
You know?
No, there's so many kids that both Harvard Westlake and Cornell, I think Harvard Westlake and Cornell are very similar. So that's why I was very comfortable when I got to Cornell. But you have a lot of kids who've been given everything and haven't had to really work for anything. And those are the kids that I kind of stay away from, because for me, that's not how I grew up. You know, I love all my friends. We all share the same qualities, like hardworking. Like we all strive to do great things in this life. So, it's really cool to see the parallels between both Harvard Westlake and Cornell. And since I had a great experience at Harvard Westlake, I knew what I wanted at Cornell. So that was like the pathway into this.
Nah,
It's
that's
a great
killer.
transition. So Joe, I have a question. So for us, I know, like I see a lot of videos, you know,
Videos.
like the like the Chinese kids, they're so advanced. Like I know, like sports and just what they do, the technique, the I want to say the work ethic. It seems like it's just unmatched because, like, I see the skill set. It's like they train or something like, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like I don't know where that come from.
So you must be speaking because the Olympics just happened. And you see the Chinese athletes. It's not really normal here in the United States, the Asian athletes, because their full course is on academics. And I feel I'm a rarity. Jameson is a rarity. Is that we balanced that he can go to an Ivy League school. It's because his athletic ability. So the Chinese Olympics showed the different side of it, but the Chinese Americans here, and I would say a lot of the Asian Americans, you know, they put academics first. But, you know, everybody's competitive. So now there's a lot of role changes where they're trying to do the athletics.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, it's just like with the kids, it just seemed like they're more advanced than some of the kids out here, you know?
Well, the only real comparison people like to compare Jameson with, and we're honored to have that comparison, but really we can't compare, is Jeremy Lin. You know, we're in a basketball, you know, world here, you know, with Baron Davis and yourself, sir. So bottom line, you got to get lucky, you know, in certain things in life, as you guys all know, you know, timing with everything, you know. Jeremy Lin went to Harvard and didn't get looked at anyway. So Jameson is following similar path, is that, you know, the NFL is not going to give him a direct shot because, one, he's Asian and his size and his eye test doesn't pass anything. And we're trying to change that. With Jameson's pursuit, as you guys brought us here to talk about, you know, his academic pursuits of going from Harvard Westlake to, you know, to Cornell, all the high institutions. We're now trying to get him to the next level to get into the NFL, the best football he can play.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Definitely.
Jug, did you play?
No, the reason I used the
That was a hard no.
I used the immigrant. I started everything late, and that's why, you know, until we came to the United States, I really didn't do much. And then you know, my first shot at playing any sports was in high school, and I was always behind. And I felt I was very athletic. I did end up playing every sport and being a starter, but wasn't the go-to person. But I was on the team, you know, a high school team, went to the state championship, you know, and then lost. But
you act like that's easy. Everybody
No,
get to the state championship. That's pretty difficult.
Well, New York.
I didn't get to the state championship. I just want to let you know that.
And let me just make sure, you know, California has 13 divisions, while New York has a lot more than that. So we went. So I know that because we went to one of it, you know, one of the things in finals. But love the work ethic, and one of the things that we just came back from is China developing American football, is because what I learned playing sports, you know, basketball and football, is the teamwork, is building, you know, brotherhood. Building relationships with people that, you know, you normally wouldn't have, and being stronger. And so we use that, you know, kind of technique to really advertise American football being a sport in China, because China, their biggest thing is single individuals. First of all, you know, they can only have one child policy, and that's still the case. One child policy. So they don't know how to make friends. And indirectly, I speak in China about that, and they agree. So what sports bring to them is how to build relationships, how to build teamwork. You know, and that's the thing that you move along in your life.
That was going to be my question. Since Jameson is one of a kind, by default, marketing of American football is going to fall on his shoulders at some point, especially as he goes up. And what aspects of American football resonate with popular culture in the Chinese market? And how can they better sell football to the Chinese people?
Well, I think I answered that one. I think by it coming to the Olympics, it's showing that it's going to be something internationally now. So I think that'll be one. That was my sorry.
No, absolutely. I was going to add to that. The Olympics is definitely going to help with football, and that's one of the reasons we were invited to China, because they're trying to develop the football game there. You know, I think, and I'm going to use this theme, is that how it will really grow the sport in China is that we're looking for the next Yao Ming of American football. And people joke when I say looking for the next Yao Ming, he's with you. Everybody I'm in China, when they see Jameson play, because he's actually not just playing, helping them, he's coaching them and being with the kids. And coaching, and they're like, well, the next Yao Ming of American football is right here. So he gets a lot of fanfare when he's there, and we experienced that, just past week here.
You getting blown up on WeChat?
Yeah. What you know about WeChat?
Oh, no, I have an experience in China.
Yeah, no, WeChat's everything out there.
Yeah, it is.
What we want to know is, who do you think is the best player in the NFL?
Oh, tough one. I've always loved Aaron Rodgers. I think the way that he's able to throw the ball, the way that he does everything on the mental side, like he's an elite quarterback, and I don't think he gets enough respect from everyone else. But to go off of that question, like I always like to build my ideal quarterback, and I think if I had Josh Allen's physical attributes, so 6'5", right? Patrick Mahomes' arm, Tom Brady's IQ,
Tom Brady, baby.
Aaron Rodgers' stroke by the way he throws mechanically, the way he throws. Pause. The way he throws the ball, and then Lamar Jackson's running ability. That would be my ideal quarterback.
Oh man,
that's a great mix right there.
Oh, definitely.
Come on, man. Lamar's
Aaron Rodgers doesn't win another Super Bowl. Is he still at the elite level?
I think he's still at the elite level, because if you look at the teams that he's been on, he's never had that super team. If you put him in Patrick Mahomes' shoes right now with the Chiefs when they had Tyreek and Travis Kelce, I think he wins just as many, if not more. So.
But then I got to play devil's advocate, because it feels like Jordan Love did the same effects that Aaron Rodgers did, right? So is it that type of system? You feel what I'm saying? Because I felt like Jordan had the same type of success that Aaron's had throughout the years.
Jordan did have a good year last year, but he needs to replicate that. So he just got paid. I don't know if you guys saw it.
He just got that money.
He just got paid.
That's crazy now. Getting 1 year of success of a resume, and now you can get
And his timing went well, because he just got off his rookie contract. So if he played 1 year later, it would have been a whole nother story. But with him, he's got to replicate that over years and years, because if he doesn't do that over the next 4 years, he's not getting that money again. So he's in the hot seat right now.
Right.
Jameson, let me ask you this. I just spoke to Inglewood High School, the football team. Shout out to Inglewood High School. Can you give an idea to up-and-coming football players who are in high school right now about the level of preparation it takes to play at the college level?
Yeah, no, I think high schoolers get mistaken nowadays with always wanting to go to the biggest school, whether that's Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson, Alabama. Everyone wants to go to those schools, but with the transfer portal nowadays, that's not always in the best interest for you. So these schools are getting guys who are 5th, 6th years playing college football, who've had the experience, who have the knowledge and wisdom of the game, and high schoolers want to go straight into that. And I think my best advice for them is to go to a school that really wants you. You know who really wants you in the recruiting process. Don't just go to the biggest name. Go to the school that actually wants you, because once you get that playing experience and exposure, that's when everything starts clicking. Because once you're thrown out onto that field against big Division I talent, you get that knowledge and wisdom that you would never get being a bench player. But the biggest thing with football is the mental side. Obviously, if you're playing college football, you have the physical capability to play. But what people don't understand is the amount of hours in the film room and on the whiteboard drawing up plays against different coverages that it takes. So when you go out on the field, if you know your job, you could play at a fast, high level. But if you're going out there without studying and without watching film, it gets very chaotic because everything starts happening really fast. And if you can't process at a fast speed, you won't be able to play well. So,
So speaking of that, so mimicking, who do you take your game after?
it's tough. I think right now, comparably, Jalen Hurts and I probably played the most similar because we could both run the ball, but we're not run first, if that makes sense. Like if we need to be, we'll get out the pocket and make plays with our feet, make plays with our legs. But we're also very comfortable in the pocket as well, where we're making throws downfield. We're able to go through our reads, get the guys who need to get the ball, and get our best players the ball, which are the receivers. So I think right now, me and Jalen Hurts are probably the most comparable.
I do want to give a old timer a plug. So Jameson's been fortunate to be training with Jordan Palmer right now. One of the most elite, NFL and fight on. So he's legit, and everybody comes in and trains with him. And one of the things he said to us that we were blown away with is that, we're basically asking him if he's ready for the NFL. And he goes, "You wouldn't be here if I didn't think so." Wow. But what he did say, though, that blows us all away, I want to share with you guys, and this is in confidence, but whoever sees it will know, is that what Jordan Palmer feels, he's very similar to Tony Romo, is because he knows how to escape trouble and escapability. And he said that they're training, watching Jameson's film, training their elite quarterbacks how to escape, giving them another technique. And we're like, oh my God, that's great big to hear. So he's going there for the throwing techniques, and they're using his escapability with the other guys.
Now,
so that gives you.
Is that a natural thing, or is that something that you? I mean, obviously you probably still work on it, but is that something that just came naturally?
It's definitely way more natural. Being like, for me, being able to think on the run and be able to make the next play like on scramble has always been second nature to me. But I think that also comes with playing basketball at an early age. I think basketball and football have a lot of parallels. So being able to play both of those sports at a young age and I was good at both of them at a young age, it's helped me get to this point where football, being able to escape and make plays have been really easy. Because think about point guards, you're always dishing the ball, making plays out of nowhere, and that translates right to quarterbacking. You're on the run, you got to throw across the field. All right, let me get it out. So
that's what I thought about power forwards and tight ends, like pretty much a post-up position. But now I have an intriguing question, because we talk about basketball and football. What do you think's easier to do? Score a layup or run a 1 yard into the end zone?
Depends. I think scoring a layup's easier, just because there's no physical if you're wide open, there's no physical contact to that
on each level. So I'll say high school, college, and pro.
I see. The issue with football running a 1 yard touchdown is that you're gonna get hit no matter what. So like if you're that close to the end zone, there's some type of contact. Basketball. You can get hit too. You can get
somebody
hit,
can hit you in the
it's
head.
not the same. You're not. Yeah, but no, I
Bolt in your face. Yeah, elbowed in your face. Some people are bleeding. Batum was bleeding. Batum was bleeding.
But yeah, no, I would say running a one, because you're running at such a violent speed, and
that's harder to do.
You don't know. You don't know what you're going to get yourself into when you get into that hole. So
man, it's like a car wreck every time.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what it feels like after a game. Car accident.
How many times you got an ice bath a week?
Oh, I normally get in there 4 or 5 times.
Wow. Oh, that's beastie.
Yeah, you have to, just to keep the body fresh.
Because you got to keep your body fresh, right?
Yeah, that's athlete stuff. So Jameson, so tell me, give me like one of your favorite moments as currently right now that you like, one of the best games or moments.
What's the one you watch a lot? Like,
so it just happened this past season. So we go at Yale. And they're the preseason Ivy favorites. So they're supposed to win it all this year. And they have a great team. Yeah. They're stacked. They brought back everyone they had from the year before. Wow. And we go in there, and it was supposed to be the worst weather in September. It was supposed to be like 13 inches of rain, which is
Wow.
Really, it's a lot. It was supposed to be like flooded, like way more than snow. And then there was also 40-mile-per-hour winds. And I think for a quarterback, that's like your worst nightmare. You're like, can you even throw the ball?
Yeah, the conditions.
It's wet, it's windy, like worst nightmare. So I'm in the hotel the night before, and I'm just thinking like, I don't even know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Like I hope I could throw the ball. If not, I'm gonna have to run every play. So we get there, and the conditions aren't bad at all. We're warming up. It's raining, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's windy, but I was still able to throw the ball with zip. And we start off the game tough. We're down 14-3 at half, but we're in the halftime locker room. We're like, these guys really aren't that good. Like, we're moving the ball fine. We had a few turnovers, and we come out at halftime and we score on every drive in the second half to win the game. Nice. And the coolest part was I led the game-winning drive. We were down by 1 point, or we actually down by, what was it? We were down by 1 point. It was 21-20 with a minute left. Led the game-winning drive, got to field goal range, and we kicked the game-winning field goal.
Yeah,
how do you feel in that moment, in that time? What is the feeling? What's the vibe? What's the focus?
Yeah, no, that feeling was unmatchable. I've never felt that before because all the work that we put in, like not just as a team, but individually in that off season, and to go out there, because the year before they embarrassed us. They beat us by like 30 at home on our homecoming, and going back there to give them something like that feeling was unmatched. It was just pure bliss. So
Jameson, I'm interested in sports in the Ivy League. LZ Harrington, that's one of the top basketball players in Southern California, is going to the Ivy League. You're playing football in the Ivy League. For those youngsters who being recruited by Ivy League schools, give us an idea about the environment that you go play in and how competitive it actually is. And we all think of the Ivy League as an academic.
No, exactly.
Obviously it is. Yeah. But when we talk sports, give us an idea about what those games are like when you're on the road and competing at a high level. Yeah,
no, the Ivy League is definitely underrated when it comes to sports. Like, people just think it's an academics school, but the issue is the students and the community at the Ivy League schools don't really care about sports. So you're there and you just feel like you're playing sports and no one's really watching you. But in reality, even though not many people come to the games and stuff, a lot of people in the workforce and at the next level really respect Ivy League student athletes. That's very respected upon. So even though the students and the teachers on campus aren't as supportive as other schools, other big athletic schools, the competition is still elite. Like, we go out there and when we're playing, like we're competing hard, and there's some really good players in the Ivy League because they get passed up upon at the higher levels. Right. Higher level schools pass up on these kids. Someone like me too, where I got passed up upon, and now I'm playing in the Ivy League and we're dominating in the Ivy League. Like, we're balling out. So I think a lot of it's such a cool experience because you get to network and meet so many cool people. And like, I've been in contact with the CEO of Marriott, and that's just because I went to Cornell and because he went to Cornell, and that's the alumni network. So being able to do that and to be able to play the sport you love at a high level too. It's not like it's Division 2 or 3. This is still Division 1.
Division 1.
So I think it's really the way to go. And with the transfer portal now, the Ivies don't take transfers. So if you establish your spot early, that's your spot. No one's coming in above you to take it, So you go to a bigger school, you might have a good year playing, but they might bring in someone else the next year. So there's no loyalty at the higher level like that, if that makes sense.
Just a quick plug. Jameson was voted first team All Ivy quarterback for this season. So
this season coming up?
Yeah. So it's a big honor.
Now it's time to do work, because I see every year you progress. You get better and better, and the accolades show. So kudos to you on that. It's just time to get to work and make sure we keep that permanent, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Are you right-handed?
I am right-handed.
You just shook his hand with your right.
Yeah.
Oh man, wipe that off.
Oh my God! He's talking all that. Wait till we get out in the field, man.
Because the way he shoots.
Oh my God! See, there we go.
But on a serious note, like I have had a ton of experience playing against Ivy League schools. Ivy League schools to me are always like that Cinderella underdog type team. They're always going to bring the fight. We played Harvard and Yale every single year at Boston College, so I definitely understand like what it means as far as sports, you know. And I think just one thing for you in this upcoming year, let's get a trophy.
Oh, trust me,
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, we really want that ring. You know, Cornell hasn't won a championship since 1990, so this would be 34
Break the other
years.
barrier.
Exactly.
Break this other barrier.
Yes.
So that would really cement my legacy there as not only a football
And you might be
player,
the
but as a
GOAT up
quarterback.
there.
So if we're able to get it done this year, it would go crazy. They would go crazy.
What do you think? What does it take for you guys to get there?
And I've been telling the guys just this past summer, I'm putting it on me this year. Like offensively, we're just gonna have to score points. And the past 3 years, we haven't really scored. Like we'll score like 17 to 24 points a game, but
you guys are moving the ball.
we're moving the ball fine, but
yards.
we're not putting it in the end zone. And I'm telling the guys, we need 35 a game. And if we score 35 a game, we're gonna be just
gonna
fine.
win.
So,
It's a lot of points.
but yeah, see, that's the issue. We'll have all those yards, and we'll put up like 8 points. Which that's not gonna get you a win. So
James, let me ask you this: when we talk about being a student athlete in the Ivy League, student is the first word that comes to mind.
Yep.
What's the academic load like, and how are you able to handle it and go out there and perform at a high level?
yeah, the load is rigorous. I load all my classes up in the off season, so I'm taking a very light schedule during the fall during football season, so I could focus on football. But I always go back to it. Harvard Westlake prepared me for this because the rigorous load at Harvard Westlake makes Cornell seem light. So because
gives you the confidence.
Makes Cornell seem like.
Exactly.
No, I mean that's what certain schools are predicated to do. That's why, like for me, going to Fairfax to Worcester, Worcester, like really put me in a position to be really confident at Boston College to sit in the front of the class, right? Actually raise my hand. Like most of the time, right? Me and my peers, we want to sit in the back room, but now I want to learn. I want to gather this information. So
Definitely. And so I got a question for Joe Pops.
Yes,
Okay.
Joe.
So you tell me, like, when was the moment that you knew Jameson was that guy? Because he's that guy right now, and I see more for him and establish his own path, which is good. You know, I like. So
I mean, Pops laid that foundation too, though, man.
Well, I appreciate you saying he's the guy. He's not the guy in the house. Just make sure we're crystal clear on that. Because the path that's laid out, it's not done. That's why. So I can't answer it in that fashion, is because he's still got a road ahead, and we're calling it the improbable road to the NFL, because that's when it's done. That's when I'm gonna sit back and relax and drink cognac and smoke a cigar.
But that ain't time for you to relax. That is not time for you to relax.
Right
That's
here
time
in
for
this
Pops.
room.
Right, that's right.
So to answer, it's not yet. It's not yet, because he's still got a full season to go, and this is going to be a traumatic season for him, and we want that to be just a glorious, outcome. Just what you guys are asking. We need to have that glorious outcome of winning the games and getting that trophy you guys, kind of asked, and then his next level, right? Because it doesn't mean anything if he just wins there. He's got to show the world. He's got to show the Asian American athletes that he can make it to the next level. Because then everybody can aspire to that too.
Showing it's possible.
Okay, there we go.
How
Okay.
does film study come into play?
It comes into play a lot, to be able to know what the defense is going to do is just makes your job as a quarterback way easier. If you don't watch film, if you don't really study what the defense is going to do in certain situations, you're going to get the ball when it's snapped and not know what to do. So my goal pre-snap is to be able to kind of see context clues on what the defenders are looking at to see their positioning and to give me an idea of what coverage they're going to be in. And if I know what coverage they're going to be in, then I know who I want to get to the ball in a certain play. So say I see a certain look, I'm like, okay, I've seen this in film. I know what they're going to do. This is the route I'm probably going to throw to on this play. Obviously, that doesn't happen every play, but the more plays you could get to at that level,
you'll get more familiar with it. Yeah.
The fastest you play, the faster the ball gets out of your hand, the quicker the receiver gets the ball, the more chance they have to score a touchdown.
And are you guys watching together, like film?
Well, I mean, not anymore. We used to, but now he's got his own college coach, and I don't want to interfere. So.
So you don't call them and be like, hey,
No, we talk after the games, and that's about it. That's about it. Yeah.
But
well, Jason, how about marketing and branding in the new NIL era? You're one of a kind in the space. You're at a really big school, and you have an opportunity to share football with an entire country. Let's talk about how name, image, and likeness is affecting your college experience and how you've been able to take advantage of some of the new era stuff.
No, NIL started right when I got to college, so it was very new and unfamiliar when I first got to college. Luckily, I was able to get a few NIL deals my sophomore year, which it was super cool. I had a deal with Degree, and that was a pretty big deal. And then I also just signed like a trading card deal as well. So,
nice.
But Ivy League, you shouldn't be going into Ivy League expecting much. And fortunately, these deals just happen because I'm unique, Asian American quarterback, that's really rare to see. So fortunately, I've been blessed and able to get most of these deals, but my teammates haven't really gotten much. There's no like trust NIL collective at Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
So that's really more at bigger schools. So you shouldn't be really expecting much, but whatever you could get, it's such a blessing.
And what companies would you like to work with from China that you feel that you could help bring more awareness to their name? Let's look in the camera and let's get them on board.
Yeah, let's get them on.
Chinese brands like Li Ning.
Yeah, we mark with Li Ning.
Li Ning. I remember Li Ning.
Yes.
Li Ning would be awesome, just the apparel athletic brand. Anta too. So
What size shoe you wear?
I wear 10.5, 11.
10.5. 10.5. Send them.
Yeah.
Quick.
So any of those brands would be truly dope,
Any other brands as far
They
as
have
out
our
here?
address already, by
too?
the way. Li Ning, you have our address.
Yeah.
6 studios, 14s for the guy and 10 in the 10.5 for Jameson.
And 12 for the dad.
And 12 for dad. Okay? And we'll
Don't forget
get ours later.
Don't forget Shinyu. Don't forget Shinyu.
Right. And then beyond that, it's an opportunity to break into the American market. So yeah, we would love a pair of shoes, but we got the guy right here, man, who's opening doors. Let's figure out a way to partner with them and make something special happen.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, so we love you guys being here. And tell us anything up and coming that we need to be preparing for and watching out for.
Yeah. Well, obviously the season's coming up really shortly. So we got 10 games and we have a big game on ESPN. I think it's October 6th against Harvard. So
October 6th, Harvard.
October 6th.
That's a big one.
Beat Harvard. I don't like Harvard.
I don't like Harvard. So we got to handle business there. And then after the season, I come back to LA and I'm going to start training to try and go professional, whether that's NFL, CFL, UFL. Just want to give myself a chance to play professional football. So that's what this season and everything after that is leading up to.
Keep that love and that pureness in your heart, and you will see that result. I'm sure of it.
No, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Definitely.
You're welcome.
And I have another question too, just to go back a little bit, because I
questions.
know because like for me, because I played football. Football was my second sport. I played baseball as my first sport. But like how is it football growing up? How you played, like, for us, I know we played a lot of throw up tackle, sideline pop, and stuff like that to kind of get us, street light to street light. That's what we play in the streets, so how you guys?
No, I think for me, each year, you don't, the amount of work you put in, you see results. Like I can see like 6 years ago when I was in high school, I throw the ball way differently than I do in high school. I threw the ball way differently in high school than I do now. And it's just the amount of work that you put in, and you see yourself progress. You don't see it in the time, but you look back and you're like, wow, like look at all the strides I made. And I think each year when you play football, you never know everything. Like you always learn something new each year. At least for me, like I just keep developing my game, and whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, like you figure out ways to improve each year. And that's the cool part, is you never get to an end destination. You're always getting better. So and I feel like that's really cool, because you aspire, at least for me, I put in so much time and effort into football, and each year I still have stuff to fix each year. So I think that's pretty unique.
And what's your I gotta
long-term plan?
No, I got.
And on that note,
a far throw. What's your furthest throw?
Yeah. I could probably 65 in the air with the wind. If there's a little wind, I could probably get it to 70. So yeah.
Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Okay.
come with me, Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Well, Jameson, we want you to have a very successful season.
I
All right, we
appreciate
want
it.
you to bring the
Thank you.
chip home, and then we just can't wait to see you at the combine, swagged out,
Sounds good.
doing numbers.
Sounds good.
All right,
Well, I appreciate you guys for having me.
no problem. And
Yeah.
Joe,
Definitely.
come on.
Well, appreciate you guys. We hope the SLiC TV audience watch Cornell go Big Red.
Go
Yeah.
Go
Big
Big
Go
Red.
Big Red.
Red, you know what I'm saying? Hey, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, you know what I mean? If you have any questions for Coach Joe, if you have any questions for Jameson, drop them in the comments and let us know.
Sounds good.
Thank you, fellas.